Hey everyone, welcome back to Global Bike Buzz. I'm excited today because we've got something legendary to dive into. The 2025 Kawasaki KX500. The big bore two-stroke is back, and it brings a lot more than nostalgia. We're going to walk through every angle, front, side, back, and then dig into the engine, how it performs, pricing, whether it's worth it, and more. Stick around, because this is one you don't want to miss. Let's roll. As soon as you see the front of the 2025 KX500, you know this isn't your run-of-the-mill motocross bike. The headlight, if equipped depending on region, or the front guard is sharp and aggressive. The front fender has a low, wide stance, designed to throw mud forward and shield the forks. The number plate is flat, wide, almost slash-like, contributing to that intimidating look. The fork guards are slim but supportive. The front suspension is inverted, beefy, and finished off with robust triple clamps. The radiator shrouds curve inward just enough to channel airflow, but outward enough to look muscular. The front wheel has a large disc brake, pedal or wave style depending on your market, and the tires are knobby and meant to bite hard. The front fork travel is generous, enough to soak up the roughest terrain. As with many modern KX models, expect a lot of attention to the finish on the front. The decals are sharp, color schemes are bold, often the classic Kawasaki lime green mixed with black or some contrast color. The LED lights or optional components, if available, are integrated to not spoil the look. Moving to the side reveals much more. The frame looks narrow but rugged. Kawasaki usually works to centralized mass, so you'll see how the engine, gas tank, and radiators are tucked in. The fuel tank has a slim profile behind the shrouds, allowing the rider to grip with knees easily. Side panels are smooth, minimalistic, clean. The exhaust pipe sweeps from the front of the engine, curves up and out, with a silencer that is neatly tucked but still visible. The transition from the silencer to muffler and any heat shield is well engineered, balancing style and function. The swing arm is wide, strong, typically aluminum or alloy, with good clearance for rear wheel travel. The chain and sprocket are visible, of course, and quality seems high. Looking down, the foot pegs are rugged, with good grip, and the brake pedal and gear shifter are nicely placed. Suspension linkage is exposed and looks well designed. The rear shock is likely adjustable. Seat height is high, posture is forward-leaning, aggressive, ready for attack. The side view gives a sense this bike is built for both power and agility. From the back, you see symmetry and strength. The rear fender is short, not overly bulky. The tail end is sharp, tapered. A small number plate or tail light, depending on region, is integrated. The rear wheel is wide, with a big knobby tire, showing off the rear disc brake. The chain guard and swing arm guards are designed so that mud and debris are handled efficiently. The rear shock link, spring, and linkage might be visible depending on design, showing the suspension tech. The exhaust from the side winds into the silencer that often ends before or just past the swing arm pivot. The angle gives space to lean the bike over without scraping. From the rear, visual elements are balanced. Neither front nor back look overbuilt. Everything looks proportionate for off-road, motocross work. Under the body is the heart. The engine on the 2025 KX500 is a two-stroke single of approximately 500 cc displacement. Kawasaki has revived this platform to combine classic two-stroke character with modern tech. Expect fuel injection, or advanced carburation, if a mix depending on market, power valves, modern exhaust design, and improved cooling. Liquid cooling likely. The compression ratio is tuned to deliver brutal mid and top-end punch, while low RPM tractability is helped by modern power valve or variable exhaust geometry. There will be an electric start, many reports suggest, or at least an easier kickstart mechanism. Kawasaki acknowledges that modern riders expect more convenience. The engine block is lighter than the old generation, thanks to updated metallurgy, better machining, and lighter moving parts. The crank, piston, and porting are optimized for both power and durability, so you can ride hard without constant engine rebuilds. Transmission is likely a 5-speed or maybe 6-speed depending on final gear ratios. Clutch is wet, multi-plate. Cooling is achieved via modern radiators, perhaps with improved shrouds and airflow management. Exhaust gas treatment, if required by emissions law, might include catalytic portions or special mufflers. Expect the engine produces something in the ballpark of what older 500 two-strokes used to produce, maybe more because of modern tuning, and crucially more usable power across a wider rev range. When it comes to performance, You can expect the 2025 KX500 to launch off the line with a fair energy. Acceleration in the low to mid RPMs will be explosive, torque will be massive, especially once you open up the throttle past the power valve kick in. Handling will be a balancing act. Raw power demands respect, but chassis, suspension design, and wheels will try to keep it manageable. The suspension likely is high-end, fully adjustable both front and rear. Damping, compression, rebound adjusters add the sort of hardware competitive riders demand. Braking needs to match. Expect powerful front disc brakes, possibly wave or pedal designs to shed heat under hard braking. Weight will be a key question. How heavy Kawasaki has managed to keep the KX500 will strongly affect its agility. If weight is kept reasonable, it could be a beast on rough tracks, whooping hills, big jumps. Rider feedback, vibration control, throttle response, clutch feel are all areas I'd expect Kawasaki to have refined. For off-road and track work, you are going to get an engine that wants to rev, then wants to redline so keeping momentum will be important. In tight corners you'll likely have to manage the torque carefully, but when flowing, this will shine. Price is always a sticking point. While exact numbers vary by region, import costs, taxes, and options, expectation is this bike will carry a premium. For US or Europe markets, MSRP will likely reflect that. Reports suggest Kawasaki is positioning it not cheap as this is a flagship dirt weapon. In Pakistan, or South Asia, price will probably be significantly higher once duty and import takes in. It's worth considering ownership costs, maintenance, spare parts, especially two-stroke parts, fuel, exhaust care if emissions gear included, and tires. Insurance and registration may also be non-trivial if the engine is powerful. Availability will impact pricing too. Early units are often more expensive. If Kawasaki offers accessory packages, engine guards, skid plates, performance exhausts, etc., all that adds up. Putting it all together, the 2025 Kawasaki KX500 seems like a bike that bridges the legendary past and modern expectations. It gives that raw two-stroke soul, huge torque and drawer, but wrapped in tech, better handling, improved cooling, more refined components. Where it might struggle is usability for less experienced riders, cost of maintenance, and perhaps regulatory constraints depending on where you live. If the weight is too high, it could feel cumbersome in technical sections. If fuel injection or emissions systems are complex, that adds to cost. But for those who want the full-on big two-stroke experience tuned for 2025, this is about as good as it gets. If I were you considering this bike, I'd test-ride it if possible. Feel how it responds mid-thrust, how clutch pulls, how vibration is managed, how quickly it cools down after extended rides. Compare it with modern 454 strokes and see whether that extra torque and punch is worth the extra wrangling. Think about track type. Big open tracks, dunes or more flowing terrain will suit this better than tight twisties unless you have serious throttle control. Overall, the 2025 Kawasaki KX500 is not just a nostalgia trip, it's a statement. Kawasaki saying they still believe there is a market for big two-stroke beasts, for real motocross power, for bikes that aren't just about electronics, but raw mechanical adrenaline. It's exciting, bold, and potentially game-changing. Thanks for tuning into Global Bike Buzz. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit